confirmation of a previously mentioned hot topic, how Muskrat will be exiting, Trumpy's so-called delay of the TikTok ban. Hey honey lads, happy April, happy 4/4 portal. Ooh, there is a lot of hot topics to get into today, so let's jump right on in. Ooh, I don't even know where to start. Actually, yes I do, because we've got a couple things to cover. We've got confirmation of a previously mentioned hot topic. Thank you, Senator Rand Paul. We also have to discuss. Can you see these fools? This little trio of nitwits, Trumpy, Vancy Pants, and Muskrat. How Muskrat will be exiting, and how there's some pushback. There's going to be a lot of pushback, especially this weekend leading into next week. Not to mention Trumpy's so-called delay of the TikTok ban, and how he really didn't delay a damn thing, but it's something else to prolong telling the truth. But the truth's going to get exposed either way. Oh, I can't wait to get into this. Are y'all ready? We have to start with confirmation. Kentucky Senator Rand Paul, okay, confirmed something that I mentioned in, I think it was March 27th episode of Decoding Hot Topics, that the Republican Party has been warned that if they don't fix this Trumpy situation, the party itself will reap the, well, I don't want to say reap the consequences, but they will suffer the consequences. And he did so. He confirmed this by giving examples of how tariffs and the nonsense that Trump is doing now has set the party back before. Him speaking out the way that he just did too, it also confirms what I mentioned about Cory Booker's 25-hour marathon speech, kicking shit into high gear and helping getting everybody revved up and getting the party started. All right, now that we've gotten the confirmation out of the way, let's get back to the trio of nitwits. All right, Vancy Pants, Trumpy, and Muskrat. The pushback is real. I've covered so much of this during the horoscopes for this weekend, but we're just gonna get right into it. Okay, Trumpy is being pushed because he's not getting the results that he's supposed to be getting. The Republican Party is giving some pushback in regards to, you either get us some results, which all he knows how to do is make threats because he has no real influence. This is in his chart, by the way. Get results or release the relationship, the crutch that you have, and that would be Muskrat. Hence why Trumpy and Vancy Pants are over here talking about how Muskrat's gonna take a seat. But the funny thing is, Muskrat is talking about fake news. Let me explain to you why there is a conflict within their charts. It's about to go down. So, I have to mention that with both of them, Muskrat and Trumpy, having a Mercury in Cancer, they, for the past week, have been feeling pushed to make a decision. Which is more important? So for Trumpy, the question was, what's more important to you? This position in the White House or your relationship with Muskrat? Now for Muskrat, the question was, what's more important to you? Your relationship with Trumpy, being his little sidekick in the White House, or these companies that have made you the richest man? So, let me also explain before. So they have a bond here. He actually, out of everybody else who is getting ready to be exposed as a turncoat, because there are traitors in the White House. Let me just start there. He actually found and made a bond with old Muskrat. But Trumpy is getting ready to betray Muskrat. And I'm gonna tell you why. Trumpy and Vancy Pants trying to push Muskrat out is a betrayal between Trumpy and Muskrat. Okay, let me explain. So, before they came up with this plan, or I guess I should say the Republican Party kind of pushed Trumpy into a corner, because that's what's happening, because Trumpy's not getting the results. Muskrat was already going to leave, because having the appearance or perception of being secure, especially financially with his rising sign in Cancer, that's more important than over here playing sidekick to Trumpy. So he didn't have a chip on his shoulder before, but if you push him out like you don't want to be friends with him no more, that's going to give him a chip. He was already going to step off because him losing money was showing that he had lost his focus. But now that it is going down today, this weekend, leading into next week, and as I mentioned in the horoscope, there is a heavy focus on Cancer placements in your 4th house. Now, Muskrat has a ton of Cancer placements from his sun to his rising sign to his Mercury. Trumpy also has Mercury in Cancer, Venus, Saturn. Now, hold up, because Muskrat's Aquarius North Node with this weekend's energy is being pushed to take action and bring some stuff out into the open, exposed. And Trumpy, his Leo, it's like he doesn't want to give up his power. We know this, right? But if he does not get results and make shit happen like he's supposed to, he's either going to be, it's one or two things. He can either be exposed as the person to follow because of his influence, which he's not showing, or you're going to be exposed as the problem. And we are going to move away from Trumpy and Muskrat and get into Trumpy and TikTok, because this nonsense, and that's what I'm gonna call it, because that's what it is, this nonsense about Trumpy delaying the ban of TikTok. No, he did not delay shit. He's not cutting them a break. TikTok is not trying to sell, okay? Listen here. I know Trumpy thinks he's all in power because of all that Leo in his chart, and he thinks he's got charm because of the Libra in his chart. But TikTok, and yes, you can do a birth chart on a company, okay? TikTok has about 4 placements in Leo, 2 placements in Scorpio. They are extremely stubborn, okay? And they know that in order to maintain the influence, first of all, they know they've got a stronger influence than he does because he doesn't have any. But they know in order to maintain said influence, they've got to maintain power. And Trumpy wants to take that. They are not selling. They'll rebrand before they sell. And I want to give y'all one more person to keep an eye on this weekend, and especially leading into next week. Go Vancy Pants over here, okay? Because Mr. Man was tested with that press conference that occurred with the Greenland thing where him and Miss Girl went over there. He was tested, and I'm not going to say he failed, but he didn't really. They wanted to see if he was ready to step up to the big seat, to the big chair, and he really didn't prove anything because he kept using Trumpy as a clutch. Instead of aligning himself with the party, he aligned himself with Trumpy. And as of late, as I mentioned before, which Rand Paul confirmed, Trumpy and the party are not aligned right now, okay? So, but Vancy Pants wants what was promised to him. So there's going to be some pushback coming from him soon as well. So popcorn ready, y'all. Keep your eyes open. Okay, so let's wrap this thing on up with decoding hot topics, because we've already confirmed, or should I say, Kentucky Senator Rand Paul confirmed that the Republican Party has already been warned that if we don't get the Trumpy situation in order, first of all, that Republican Party and Trumpy are, as Jack Black would say, not simpatico, okay? That the Republican Party has been warned that if they don't get his ass in line, they will suffer the consequences. Also, by him speaking out, it confirms what I mentioned in the previous episode of Decoding Hot Topics, that New Jersey Senator Cory Booker speaking out on this 25-hour marathon helped to push the start or trigger other folks into speaking out how Trump did not delay shit with TikTok. TikTok ain't bending. How there's about to be a betrayal between Trumpy and Muskrat, and how Vancy Pants is also going to be one to watch. Hit the like button, subscribe. Mwah.